Yeah. Ah, Beena. So, Beena, what I was feeling earlier is what I
Mhm.
feel now. It is a space of communion with somebody who you are sharing and you are connecting and feeling their fullness, and they are feeling your fullness. This is a magical place to be. You hear, Beena?
Yes.
Very magical place to be. All right, so you can help me a bit, please, Beena,
Mhm.
if you don't mind.
Oh.
How I don't want to presume,
Oh.
never,
Okay.
never, never, never. All right.
All the time I have been downloading pictures.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
Because you said that okay, we need colors, so I was trying
Yes,
to search for colors.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
We might have to redo the entire idea, the trees and the shadows. We might have to throw all that out and start from scratch and just do each one as appropriate. It's not
Okay.
quite working the way I'd envisioned it. It's not. It doesn't have the same beauty for me that it needs. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
So
So,
I
mhm.
was looking for colors, all type of okay. Whenever I can get color, I'm just downloading them and
Oh,
pasting.
brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. All right. So, Bina, I want to go through these real quick with you, um, just for the formulation of questions. So, you like what I did here?
Yes.
I want to show you something. We haven't used this before, Bina. I did something that I never did before here.
Yes. Yes.
You see it? Okay, hang on. I gotta move my camera. I put it a little higher up because of the way that the conversations were earlier. So, all right, let's put it back. Let's adjust it a little bit up so Bina doesn't just be looking at the bird's nest all the time. All right. Okay, Bina. So, right here, shape. See? And then you have to click on this to bring up the shapes. It's a little weird that they don't say click for the shapes. You see? And then you can choose these different shapes. Oh, you know what? I didn't realize I could scroll down. There were even more shapes. Oh, there's a moon, and there's a birdie, and there's a little world. Huh. And
These are
oh,
more than
you can even download more icons from Ico Moon. Huh. All right. But so here's the thing with these shapes though. All right, so let me show you with the circle. This was pretty cool. That oh, just heard a weird sound that I shouldn't be hearing. But okay. No, I heard my tap, kind of like drops dripping into my basin, and the tap is closed. There's no reason why it should, like it's like a little release, like
yeah.
strange. Okay, so this seems to have by default it has the you see it automatically changes the shape. With the pictures you have to uncheck this here. It says stretch to fill, but this is default the other way around. But anyway, so that's pretty cool that you get to, I mean, you're not really just making it in 2 dimensions. That's it. You don't get to do much.
But what is this actually? A text box or image?
That's what I was showing you. Okay, so let's go back here. You see, we've got text, image, video, shape, shape, and then see up at the top where my cursor is. You click on
Yeah.
the shape, and then it gives you the choice of shapes. You
Okay.
see.
Okay.
So,
Now.
right. And now that you put in a shape and then you get to choose the color of the shape or obviously as well, and then you get to play around with the
The
it's
shape. Oh
really
yes.
only in 2 dimensions really, I mean, well, really
Okay.
one. You can either make it narrow or wide. That's it.
Okay.
So there's not much that you can play around, but in this case I could fill these little spaces very appropriately with it, and it just so happened to be that this space was the same as that. So it really made a difference to this. It was very boring without that. So these shapes are pretty cool. I never used them before, but for this, to add color, very useful. And the other thing that we never played with is lines. And let's see. line style. You can make a dotted line. You can, put the different color. You can use the thickness. You see, like this. You can make it thicker, and then you can,
You can do a lot with that.
you can move the points too. You see, so yeah, you know what I mean. You can change where it is. So that's it. The line, you don't get much. You get the line style, you get thickness, and then you get where to place it. But yeah, exactly. I mean, if I want to just underline depth of discernment here, like look at that. It's pretty cool, no?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, or put it in the middle. That where's the box here? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
uh,
You can do a lot with this.
right, right. So
Lot
again,
with
I never explored these things because it's my philosophy that when you deal with stuff and you've got enough to make it work and it's really good, don't use up all your things, especially when more is coming later. Save it for later. So we can also make iframes. I forget what this is. Um, Oh, you need this is you need to put something in there. You need to put some code in there, and then it makes a frame. See? So
Hmm.
like those frames like this we've downloaded. I think you can get a little code to put this in, and then it'll make it for you. This is what I think this is. I'm not 100% sure. And then you can put in code. Like if somebody else has made up a complex code that brings all sorts of stuff in it, you can put it in here, and then it will put it in for you. So we can go and look up code or tables. Tables is just that. It's a table, like a spreadsheet. You see that?
Ah, ah.
So that might be useful at some point too, where we want to have things in columns and rows. You like spreadsheets, right?
I don't know. I never
Oh,
worked with. No,
oh,
they're
oh.
not
But I
within
mean,
my
you know
case.
what it is, a spreadsheet.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Oh, okay.
yes.
All right. All right. Okay. So at some point we want that same table, and then there's math too. I don't know what the math does, but you
Yeah.
see, like this, you can put,
Uh-huh.
divide. So I don't know. We have to research this a bit more and to look at it. But anyway, all right. So what my objective here is, I want to formulate the questions
Mm-hmm.
for this.
Question
So
for this
yeah.
session.
So what I'm going to do is the easier way to do this is for me to go here, where I get my original text from. You see, chapter 14, conspirators. I'm just gonna scroll to the end of it here real quick. You see you like this too? I thought this came out very nicely. You see, Beena? And it's
Yes.
the same logic as the first one, where I've got the title on top of the image, the pattern, the graphic, which usually doesn't work. But these two, because depths of discernment, look at that depth in there. I don't always get them where they have meaning. So okay, this does look like a conspiracy too. So it worked out very nicely. And putting all four of these worked out very nicely in the corners. Yeah, you agree? It really folded up
Yes.
nicely. It gave it. Thank you. It gave it body. Wow. Again.
It's with
So this one came with a grid. I don't know why. It looks black in the picture. It just I don't know how come it came with the grid, but it did. So isn't that interesting though? It's cool though. It's cool. Uh, say again. You broke up there, Beena.
I'm saying that it is cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. I thought it was great. Okay, so I'm just gonna go. I mean, this one's very short one, so I'm just gonna go to the end here, so that as we go through it. Oh,
Maroon? अच्छा मुझे देखना. Okay. Mama.
who's wearing maroon? Maroon is not the color for women to wear. It's a weird color.
Oh,
Oh, I'm just
oh.
kidding. When we were kids, I don't know, for whatever reason, if you got the luck of the draw to cut maroon as your color, that was like a bad luck deal. So I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Maroon was just a very unpopular color when I was a kid. Who knows why? No logic to it. So I'll just do so.
Mona just gave me a shirt.
Oh, so Mona's there?
No, Mona is not here. She
Oh,
sent me.
oh, she
Wait.
sent you. Oh,
So I was hearing that asked me that they just heard. Okay. I don't care.
It's a nice shirt, a maroon shirt.
No, I don't know that's the color, but yeah, everybody saying that it's a nice one.
Oh, Vida, hello, hello. All right, so I'm going to read through this real quick, and as a question comes up, we're gonna put in the questions here. So now our point here is, what is our intent with these questions, right? We have intents of comprehension, application, yes, not comprehension so much because it's pretty obvious by this point. They've already comprehended. So we are more looking at application, and we are looking to extend them past obvious questions. Okay. Plus, we are looking at the application in a positive way, not in a negative way. So it's not about spotting the BSer. It is about how we can leverage this to enhance ourselves to be more. Right. So anyway, you just tell me whatever questions come up. Okay, BS is a conspiracy. We're part of the conspiracy without even fully realizing, or perhaps we do. Whenever we pander to BS, whenever we allow it to propagate through our inactions and non-actions, whenever we turn a blind eye, whenever we smile and respond in smile and nod in response to gross false malarkey, we become part of the conspiracy. A conspiracy we're being asked to condone by implication. It's not just what BS manipulators say. It's all in the theater of their eyes, smile, awareness, attitude, walk, talk, voice, script, laugh, energy, posture, hand gestures, face projections, hair, attire, etc. That's the full word spelled out, by the way.
Ah,
You normally see the abbreviation, but that's what it's abbreviating. Most people don't know that. I just love that. I don't know. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so BSs also conspire with each other, not directly, rather subtly by implication. They feed each other's delusions with mutually reinforcing agreements and the appearance of providing benefit because of their contortions. For instance, A has something B wants, who schmoozes A to get it, believing, as is their habit, this is the way it's done. A, in this instance, has to supply the benefit anyway. B just happens to be available, and A, also being a BSer, seizes on the opportunity to make B think they're giving out the benefit because of B's manipulations, making them feel their efforts paid off. A, in turn, gets the advantage of making B beholden to them. Thus, they enter their conspiracy of falsehood. Of course, the moment neither needs the other. Sorry, I'm moving my head because I have to look past the camera. It's right in front of the words here. They will drop them immediately. BS conspirators have no loyalty. So I'm not getting any questions coming out of this here. Nothing. It's a little unusual, normally something it prompts a questions like, oh, what do you need to know? What's relevant? What's unsaid? What more can be said? So
okay. So can I read now? Because it is necessary for me to read.
oh, okay, sure. I'll go get some chocolate pudding while you read.
Yes, it's very often.
I should have just had you read it in the first place, actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yes, I understand. Without even fully realizing, yes, or perhaps you do. Yes, sometimes we are aware, sometimes we are not aware. Whenever we tend to go, yes, whenever we allow to propagate through things.
So if you have a question that comes up and you stop and then tell me and then I'll write it down, or you
Yes,
write it down.
so the first part is we are aware or sometimes we are not aware. So this part is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
initial question here. I feel that
yeah,
we
yeah,
are aware
yeah.
and we are not aware.
Oh, okay. So let me ask that as a question. How
Mhm.
aware are you? How aware are you of your or how aware are you of the types of conspiracy mentioned? types of so you see how I spell here, Beena? That's just for you.
Yes.
I was originally going to put it in the book, but then I thought, people will get tired of it because it's different and unusual. So,
Okay, yes, we can do that.
yeah.
Aware are you of that appears concretely mentioned? Okay, you of your awareness.
Okay, actually, I think I'm going to, because this is a very short session. I mean, that's it. That's the total that you can see up there. Well, now I've covered it, but um, that's the totality of this particular session. So that's it, 3 paragraphs and a quote. But I'm going to
Yes.
take this and make it into a separate question because I like to have at least.
So, we just read one line. Okay, yeah, we go in detail and see
So I'm going to
behind
put it
that.
as a separate question. Sorry, so again, you're a little fuzzy on your microphone. You're not very clear. Sorry, Beena.
I'm saying that
There.
we read just one line now, or maybe
Correct.
just a couple of
Correct.
lines. Okay, let's read
But
and read and that's fine.
right. But you see, I'm going to make it
Yes.
into 2 questions. So we really
Yes.
only need 1 or 2 more. Yes. Okay, keep going and tell me while I get the most important things in the world. Very
Oh my
important
God.
business. I'm on a
Oh, yes.
mission of
I did
utmost high,
absolutely speak about
top level, top clearance importance. Okay.
that. Okay. We need to apply all these focus of intent.
Yes, yes, yes. This is something that requires absolute focus of intent. Yes, serious business. Just love it.
Whenever we stand there to be it, whenever we allow it through inaction and non-action, whenever we can apply that, whenever I am not in response, because that yes, it becomes part of the brain. Constantly we are being asked to control by implication. It's not just what we as manipulate say, it's all in the creator of the eye, smile, of the attitude, from, drive, voice, there, sound, and thought, and face, hair, time. Create monsters inspired with nature. Not directly rather, subtly by implication. The feel each other's evolution with mutually reinforced excellence and appearance of surviving benefit because of it. Okay, contortion. That's contortion. The first one, the quote, it's not just what PS manipulated say, and all material. Now, this point, it makes perfect sense why they are called PS. Because if we just take it as okay, in actuality, this is something really a beer. So if thinking that across, so they need to hide
Yeah.
and to to hide their pettiness and all these things, they have to cover it up with all beautiful things. And this is what we try to do. Because
Yeah.
they are aware that what is inside is that it keeps being.
Yes. Yes.
So now it makes sense that why it is called BS, because it is in actuality it is yes. It is
Oh.
thinking, proof.
Oh.
So they need to cover it up. Okay, how many tons of perfumes you need to cover it up? Hmm? Okay, not like just one or two sprays. You need whole lot of bottles of perfume and bottles. Okay, and then okay to cover it up with a Guinness, you need whole lot of color and glitter.
Wow. Wow.
That's to make it more beautiful. You need
Wow.
tons of glass.
Wow. It's very obvious, but it's not obvious
Yeah.
until you realize it, right?
Yes, it is obvious, of course. But okay, now I'm just going into it. Why it is so? Why they do all these things? Why they try to be
Wow.
really nice and beautiful and generous and
Wow. Wow.
and that.
Right.
Because if it's a BS, you need to cover it up.
So it's a conspiracy because they are knowingly doing things which they know cannot survive in the light. What they do cannot survive in the light of
Sir,
awareness.
sir, just give me a minute, I'm coming.
Oh, sorry, no problem. Hello world, hello world, hello, hello, hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world. Oh. Hello world, hello world. Is that Beena? Hello Beena, hello Beena, hello Beena. I wish you had a middle name.
Mm-hmm.
You do actually. You have an implied middle name, don't you? Syra, like
Uh,
a one that could be
ah,
or not or not. I don't know. I asked you about this before, and you said no. I think.
yeah, because that the name thing was
Yeah.
such deal for me. Oh, because of astrology, they changed my
Yeah.
name.
No, I like sometimes to call people by their full names. So say
Oh yeah.
hello, Beena
So,
Syra
so
Siddiqui.
sometimes my friends do call me with okay, Tyra also.
Oh, they do. Oh,
Mm,
oh, oh. And is that okay?
Mama. Oh yes, no problem with
Oh,
that.
even Mama calls you Syra sometimes. Really?
Sometimes
When?
my uncle, like, he,
Oh, so is Syra like a warning name? You know, like
no.
like some kids they Ben, but when they're in trouble, then they Benjamin. You know what I mean?
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah. It's
no,
like
no, it's
Syra,
not like
and then oh, if Mama's saying Syra, I'm in trouble. No, not like that. Oh, okay, good. Okay.
no, no, it's not like that. Alan called me Sarah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I much prefer Beena. There's no comparison for me. Syra, yeah.
because on Facebook my name was Sarah before, so
Oh, that's why Alan does it. Ah, okay. Well, that makes more sense. Okay.
this was that's not. He
Yeah.
called
No,
me.
I don't know. For me, definitely.
Sometimes, not like not on regular basis. Sometimes he said,
Yeah.
okay,
No, I
it's
think we'll have to
Sarah.
just
Right.
we'll have to make up a middle name for you. Syra doesn't quite work. Sorry, you were saying I cut you off there. Sorry. Say again.
No. It was just that okay. Because sometimes they say, oh, you are the SS from Karachi. What is
You are the what from?
SS?
The Empress.
SS from Karachi, and I said, that's
No,
Sarah
no,
said,
I still don't hear the word. Say again. I'm missing it every time. Something of Karachi.
and he says that SS from Karachi.
I can't
The
get it.
letter S, the letter S.
As in Sam.
Yeah, so he says SS from Karachi.
Ah, SS from Karachi.
I
Oh,
said,
Sarah
okay.
Siddiqui SS. I gotcha.
Yeah, he says
I
Sarah
gotcha.
said. He said,
Oh,
no.
you know who else is SS?
Who?
Oh, oh, oh.
Hmm. Who? I don't know.
Come on. Who
I
else?
don't know who he is.
Not from Karachi, but the SS.
I don't know who he is.
Who else is a SS?
I don't know who he is.
Oh, come on, Beena. Oh, come on. Take the contextual pouting from me as an indication of who else it could be.
Oh, who else it could be? I
Who
don't
else
know
is
who he is.
SS?
Who he is?
Yeah. Whose initials are SS?
You know?
You do know.
Really?
Yeah. All right. So look at greater context, Beena. Look at my response and reaction as a clue.
Mm-hmm. Really? Okay.
Yes. Okay. So I asked you who else is SS, and you said, "Oh, I don't know." And I was like, "Oh, come on! How can you not know?" Is my overreaction not a clue as to who else it could be?
But you are not practicing capital H hearing, even
I
not
I,
capital L
I
listening.
can't hear
Because
you
I
very
said,
well, Beena. I'm struggling to hear you
okay,
entirely.
because I said that you are not practicing capital H hearing or even capital L listening, even a small L listening. Because I was saying that I don't know who he is.
Oh. Oh, that's what you were saying. Okay. Dang nabbit. Oh, you were teasing me. Yeah, no, I must have entirely. I was struggling to hear you, Beena. You're very faint. Faint.
I said, I don't know who he is.
Brilliant. Oh, you got me really good. Oh, I'm like, how can you not know, Beena? It's like, duh. See, I must trust that you're more sneaky and subtle than I suspect. I love it, Beena. I love your genius, Beena. I love it. You do know you're also genius, right? Do you know anybody who isn't genius when given a chance?
No.
Exactly. Isn't that amazing, Beena? Isn't that amazing that we hang out with all these geniuses? I find it most inordinately inordinate. Right?
Okay.
I like that, Beena, that we share the same initials.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to go back to that. I like that. That makes me happy,
Hmm.
Beena.
For instance, A has something he wants. Who? What is the word here? Schmooze.
Schmoozers. Yeah, it's a slang word for, I don't know, kind of like um, sucking up, I guess. Schmoozing is not, you're not deliberately sucking up. You're trying to influence somebody with BS
Okay.
false way. Now, okay, like a salesman, they'll come and
Allure?
schmooze you, or
Allure?
politicians.
Allure?
Say again.
Allure?
A little what?
Okay, who allures A? Okay, get it.
Man, can you spell the word? The sound quality is just messing up the words, Beena, so I struggle to
Oh,
hear you.
really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Oh,
Beena, this is another reason why sometimes I repeat what you say. I'm used to hearing you through the sound quality, and others aren't. Like Sue, she doesn't get what you say sometimes because of, and that's why I repeat it, because I know what you're saying, and I can see that she's not hearing what you're saying. So,
wow. Okay. Anyway.
oh, I'm sorry, Bina. I'm sorry, man.
No,
But
no.
that's the other point of getting a good quality Bluetooth headset. So on
Yeah.
the headset, it's about the quality of the headset to get a good one, so that you have this. It cancels out the noise behind. It doesn't distort. It's very important.
Oh, yes, yes.
So business
Okay.
expense, right, Bina?
Yes.
Write it
As
off on
you
your taxes,
mentioned,
Bina. You can write it off on your taxes. Seriously, you can.
it has oh yes, it has something P wants, who's smoothest, A to get it, believing as is their habit. It's just the way it's done. A in this instance has to supply the benefit anyway. B just happens to be available, and A also being the PS seizes on the opportunity to make B think they are giving out the benefit because of B's manipulations. We think they are giving out the benefit because of B's manipulations. We think, no, I'm not getting okay. And A
Well,
also
well, the one person
seizes
has something.
seizes on
Yeah.
the opportunity to make B think they are giving out the benefit because of these manipulations, making them feel their efforts paid off.
Yeah.
A in turn gets the advantage of making B beholden to them, thus they enter their conspiracy of falsehood. Of course, the moment neither needs the other, they'll trust them immediately. PS conspirators have no loyalty.
Conspirators.
Conspirators have no loyalty.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So it's not much. It's a simple point. It's just that, sometimes they get caught up in their own shenanigans,
Okay.
and they get,
Okay.
they.
The question could be, okay, it is not like, okay, we are not trying to look for a BS inside anyone, but the question could be that, okay, if something ever happens like this in the past, and you, what is the word, inadvertently
Inadvertently, yeah.
or yeah, unintentionally, uh, you become part of that, and after that you realize that it was all because of that BS. No, it will become like a therapy session then. It's okay. We need to
Hmm.
share the stories.
I actually have another question here, Bina.
Yeah.
It's the same thing I said to Sue. That list that she was making. Ah, all right. So it's easier for me to type it out than to explain it. Ah, Bina. Ah, Bina. Ah, Bina. Ha ha ha. So what I'm doing here now, I am combining a solution into a question.
Ah, interesting.
If you were to say in response to a attempts to in, let's call it involve you their nonsense conspiracies, their nonsense conspiracies. If you were saying in response to attempts to involve you in there, nonsense. Gosh, come on.
Like seriously, Ellen.
Cons, cons,
सोचना प्यार में हड़ताल
conspi,
Yep.
conspiratories. Gosh dang it, that was horrible. Wow, conspiratories. No, still not. Come on, it's my spelling. Okay, now it's spelled. Okay. To the conspiratories. Come on, what's the spelling here? No, so they don't have a spelling for conspiratories, but anyway. In the conspiracies, maybe that's the word. Oh, no, but it's conspiratories. No, conspiracies, conspiracies. All right. If you were to say to them, if you were to say in response to that doesn't work for me, colon, come on, full stop. No, not M either, comma, or I don't see that way myself, something. Oh, all right, never mind. I want to leave it or something similar. Would this work as? Would this work as a statement of non-agreement, which is also not disagreement, and thus not not, I don't want to say involve again, entangle you into the conspiracy, into their and thus not get you pulled in a false association, implied agreement. Okay, so it's a long thing that I'm saying here, but there's a logic to it, because I could just make a statement and say, if you just say this and that, then this would be a way to get you up. And I'm asking it as a question, and then I want to say, I want to ask a different question here too, and another follow-up question, which is to make a list of such questions that you can preemptively add to yourself, and therefore be prepared to deal with this type of conspiratorial involvement. You see what I'm doing here, Beena? Yeah. Does it make sense now? The whole thing, Beena? Make a preemptive list of such statements.
Yes.
In
Yes.
preparation for not being caught up in such nonsense, because you couldn't think of what to say at the time. I want to say such manipulations or such entanglements is even better.
Yes.
Because they're not always outright manipulations. They just sometimes, they're just how they are. They can't even help themselves. So it's part of capital D diplomacy. This, right? But I want to prepare people for this. So, okay. So I've been in the habit of just adding a little bit of gratification to the questions. So I do it for the titles, the quotes, and the questions. So, okay, Beena, I'm just gonna scroll from the top here. Did you want to save this for something or not?
Nope. But I just connected to my site for colors. Purpose was
No.
color.
I'll save it. I'll save it. Again, it doesn't have a clear background, so it's tricky to use. But these don't need anything fancy or special, so I'll go back or yeah, and because what I do is I upload a bunch of stuff and then I use it until it's used up. You know what I mean? And it's a lot. All this down here, I haven't used any of this really yet. So I know I've used the flowers. I haven't used the roses. This, not sure. Yeah, some of these I haven't used these yet, so now's the time to use them, right? So usually, Bina, when cropping, if you choose the appropriate corners, you can crop anything with just two movements. Yeah, you just have to take the opposite corners. See, 1, 2, and I'm done. See, that's just saving. So, all right, there we go. Hey, hey, hey! You said you could go smaller. You weren't supposed to be going smaller. I was trying to drag you, dang nabbit. There we go. All right. I think though this can't be straight. It's very too boring straight, right?
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put 2 more here. Yes. Oh, keeps doing that. Yeah, difficult, difficult bugger. Right? You can't be the same way. There we go. All right. Just for some fun, right, Bina? So we're not always so predictably boring, right? It's kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs a bit of color, but all right, I'll leave the color for Bina to add because Bina is full of color. Bina has a colorful soul. Do you know that? Yeah, it's true. All right, that
True.
one's done. Say again.
True.
Oh, thank you, Bina. All right, so that one's done. That was session 1. We go to session 2. And we look at ugly truths. And this one, I knew these would be a bit ugly. They work when they're very small. I said, okay, I'm going to use them big here because they're a bit crude, right? But I thought, let me make one that's kind of deliberately ugly in a certain way, but it's not too terrible, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find these a bit ugly, they're a bit crude, but it's perfect to represent ugly truths because they make them up like this. They look pretty enough, but they aren't really, you know what I mean? So same with this one. It also has a bit of an offness to it in a way, right? The graphic, right? The,
Yeah.
the curly cues.
Okay,
All right,
so
so yeah, it came out nicely. So,
wow, this one is nice.
yeah, and again a short one. Look, that's it. 2 sessions. And see a quote and two slides. All right, so we might as well just read. Well, let's read the quote. We might as well just read it from here. Well, you read, Bina. You read because you need to read.
We only call it yes because we are uncomfortable and awkward dealing with the need, perception, and underlying ugliness of these non-delicate. What is
Machinations.
machinations?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is a word derived from Machiavelli.
Ah,
Machiavelli was an advisor to the princes in Venice and Florence, Florence, I think, not Venice. Well, anyway, at the time when there was lots of politics going on, and each city, was its own little state, and Venice used to fight with Florence and Milan and all this stuff. So, and he advised very layered strategies, which he's the one who gave strategy a bad name, really. Manipulations of things to get power. So that's where the word machination comes from. His famous book, it's one of those classics that I read. It's called The Prince. I think it's Niccolo Machiavelli. Anyway, Machiavelli. So, yeah. So you also hear the word Machiavellian to mean kind of, sneaky and underhanded, So, yeah. A little bit of extra there for you. Right? This is kind of cool. I like backstory like that, don't you? All right. So we're uncomfortable. This is awful truth again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Discernment is unfortunately. Oh, you're reading. That's right. Sorry. Go ahead. Wow, my foot's all dry.
Okay. Discernment is unfortunately not always pretty, not pleasant. If we are to avoid being inadvertent conspirators in the proliferation of perceptions which abounds today, we need to deal with that unpleasantness. This doesn't mean we need to confront or call out every BSer we encounter. We needn't necessarily even deal with any of them. Oh, but we need to know that, we need to be aware of.
Yes, exactly.
What happened?
The nosim bit me on my foot. They bite in the most awkward places.
But you said that you don't need any barn sprayer.
No, I squeeze it out and then it's fine. But they bite me sometimes on places which are hard to squeeze the poison out of, because they choose the thin places, like here on the top of my. Let's see if I can show you my foot. Can you see there? Over here,
Yeah.
you see, it's a hard part to squeeze because it's very thin, and I guess that's why they bite on those places, because it's thin. Like they'll bite me here on my knuckle. It's like, come on, how do you there in my thumb? How do you bite on this weird spot? Now bite me here on my arm where it's easy. Sometimes they do, but And the thing is, they sometimes, I don't think they quite finish the bite. So there's very little. It's just this tiny little bump there, and it's very hard to get it exactly right to squeeze it out. So, all right. But anyway, my my personal problems are not your problems in this case. Not to be sharing too much detail. I'm always happy to share such stuff, Beena. I don't know. I always learn from it when other people share such stuff with me. So, it's part of my my understanding of friendship is to share such things, because you can't say, if you can't share this with your close friends, who do you share it with?
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
I like to learn. If you don't share such stuff, you never learn. It's no good, right?
Okay. So it's your strategy to learn.
Yeah. I want to know, Beena. All right, so what's this one say?
It says that the uncomfortableness and awkwardness.
Yeah. I'll read the next one. Oh, you mean when I share my personal stuff, it leads to uncomfortableness and awkwardness? Is that what you're saying? Oh dear, Beena. Oh, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
I like to hear you laugh, Beena. I like to hear you laugh. It's nice, Beena. It's nice.
Okay. What we do need to face are our inner perceptions. We need to go where our discernment leads us, not shying away from uncomfortable truths. Yes, the side effect is that we bring the nonsense of BS into our world. But it's better to see S and know it's there than step in it. Okay, yes, okay.
Were there some words missing from that?
No, nothing missing that.
Oh,
I
you
was
need to bring the
avoiding to bring the nonsense. Yeah.
BS into our world. But it's better to see the manure and know it's there, then step in it. Right?
Uh,
All right.
when, okay, I am a personal victim of this, shying away from or
Yeah.
being feeling uncomfortable with.
Oh, 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 oh. Not victim. No, that
Mhm,
makes you sound too innocent. No. You
mhm,
are a personal conspirator in this.
mhm,
Collaborator.
mhm, mhm.
Correct?
How?
Well, oh, that's a good question. Yes, how? How are you not a victim of this? How are you a fellow conspirator and collaborator?
Okay, by shying away from that, but I was kid at the time. Yes, though my awareness was a bit more than a kid, but
Right, right. It doesn't matter though, but it's still you are not. Yes, you are technically a conspirator, but in a way, when we shy away from the awful truth and we don't deal with it, right, and we just kind of like allow it to be, as it were, we enable it, and through that enabling, they get away with it, and every time they get away with it, they get more confident and they keep doing it. You see, you see how you
okay, and
become part of it. I mean, you are,
okay,
but
and
you aren't. It's one of those kind of like,
no, you are right, and I just want to go into detail, but first, just let's do this, and then we go in detail.
okay, okay.
What
Let
I
me
feel.
ask a question that came up for me here.
Mhm.
Of, what is should I say real term or just price? Oh, sorry, what is the long-term price you pay for avoiding or just the
No,
price?
no, just the price is good because sometimes it is immediate, sometimes it is not.
Yeah, yeah.
Just the price.
Okay. All right. So, did you have another question?
Hmm. If we recall that whenever we were just to avoid that uncomfortableness, awkwardness, and we just okay ignore that. It's a kind of a make have a blind eye over that. How we feel now when we have this awareness, how we feel now about those actions from us, and what could be the alternate for that, for those actions. What could be the appropriate actions?
Say last part again.
What could be what yeah could be yes what could be the alternate perspective or actions for those what we did in the past.
What is the ultimate reaction? Is that what
No,
you're asking?
no, alternate.
Oh,
Yeah.
alternate reactions. Yes, yes, yes. That's kind of what I asked in the previous one, but we can ask it again
Okay.
a different way.
No,
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 no, it's
no.
fine. So, um, in this, how will I ask it here in this case? Let's see. So okay. What are alternative responses, reactions, or actions to calling out?
Ah, yes, because the last one was
Yeah,
different. So yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's the same point, but it doesn't matter. In this particular point, it's very important, the emphasis. Yeah. What are alternative actions or just alternatives? What are alternatives to calling out a? It's quite difficult to type that, by the way. It is. I don't know. It messes with one's mind in a way. So, you see, okay. I don't know why it's so difficult to do. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Um, okay. What are alternatives to calling out a VS? Share what you have maybe you yourself or seen others do. You know, when you get people to share their personal experiences, you can ask that question and they don't necessarily think personal experience. Then when they do think personal experience, they don't necessarily think of examples of others who've done this, who they admire. Oh, but if you ask it, they say, you know what, that's right. Josephine, she was always, she could like call people out without calling them out. And then and say, but you saw this in Josephine, why didn't you use it for yourself? It's fascinating. People
Sometimes it
don't.
just
I know,
they
I know,
just didn't trigger in our mind.
I know. We don't think to do so. And that's the half the problem with most of what we are dealing with. We just didn't think of it. So we need to get into the habit of thinking of things and saying, oh, I want to use, I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to get information from outside of me. Force of circumstance. In that case, I saw it. It's like, wow, oh man, how did I not respond to that? It's very obvious, you know. How did I not take this magic that they were doing into myself? So, all right. So let's see. We're gonna add a picture here real quick. Move on to the next one. This is cool, Beena. This is cool. This is cool. You're really helping. Really helping. You know, just you. Oh, I want a text box. I want an image box. You know, just you being here with me, you stimulate me, Beena. You raise my energy. So okay, I'm gonna skip all of Beena's magical things that she added. Go to see what I do is typically when I upload a ton of stuff and then I go back to the bottom of where I was and I work up to kind of catch up on them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To add them in so that I don't and that I know I've
Now you
used.
have to scroll down to like so
Yeah,
many.
yeah, I have to go very far, which is cool. See, I was still on these. I haven't used all. I haven't used this at all. Wow, this is pretty cool. I think you must have uploaded this. I think anyway. Oh, I don't know. Seems kind of cool, Beena. Hmm. I know. I know. I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. I know, Beena. Go. Mm-hmm. Oh, Beena, you make me happy, Beena girl. You make me happy. You're happy. It's not gonna work. I don't think 'cause these are too. Yeah, they're too big. You know, I was hoping to put the 1, 2 in there, but these are too long. You know what I mean? Uh, it's better down, right? Like this.
Yeah, it's too crowded for this.
Well, I can make it smaller. I don't have to leave it that big. Or I can put this down, put this on top there. Is that better, Bina?
Oh yes, yes.
That good now? Need a bit of color, right? Need a bit of color, right, Bina?
Yes,
I
yes.
remember I said something about a red flower that I hadn't used yet, right?
Yeah.
Or that I didn't remember using. Where are you now? Where are you? Shall I put the heart on there? Why? It feels naughty to me to use the heart. Yeah, right on the middle, yeah. I'll send it to her. There we go. He used to call these pumpy hearts, when they have it, and he's still in pumpy hearts. There we go. Beena, smart heart, saying hello, Beena, hello, Beena, hello, Beena, hello. All right. All right. There we go. Problem solved. But the color,
Ah, yes, okay. And it's upside down, so it is different.
yeah, yeah. I have a better idea, even though then upside down. Boom, boom, and duplicate, and there we go. How about that, Beena? You don't even know it's a heart now.
Oh, yes.
Looks like a butterfly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
get them,
I'll be here.
get
I'll
them
be here in
centered.
15 minutes again.
All right, Beena. All right, magical miss. All right, all right. See you, Beena. I'll keep going. I'm enjoying doing this with you. I really love it, Beena. I really like doing that, and I like it that you get some exposure to these. It's important that you're not doing all of them, but at least some of them, right?
Oh, yes.
All
Okay.
right. I like this cover, by the way. This title. Came out nice. All right.
Yeah.
Simple, simple, but very powerful.
No, but it is good. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. Okay. See you soon. See you soon.
Okay.
See you soon. All right. See you soon. Love you, Beena. All right. Deliberate motives. Deliberate motives. Deliberate. Hey. Maybe my music. There we go. Gotta have music. The heck am I hearing? PS is more than exaggeration. It's deeper, deliberate, deceitful, an ugly thing lying. An ugly line because the intent is to deceive. All right. right. Beena, I like it that you left it up. I like that you left it up. That's huge for me, Beena. I like that. I like that. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, is it still recording? No, I don't know because